Once again, we reach the grove where the fairies nest. It occurs to me that this is the only part that seems unaffected by the forest sickness. The trees are just as vibrant as ever, and the pond just as crystal clear. We stumble into the middle, near the shore of the pond. Abigail takes several woozy steps, and I hold her shoulder to keep her steady. Then I flicker, and she starts to fall, barely managing to keep her balance. Forget days or even hours to find another solution. We might not even have minutes. Hello? I call out, a bit surprised that none of the fairies have come to greet us. I watch the trees and listen for the buzz and flutter of wings, but it remains silent and still. Hello, fairies. It feels a little absurd and on the nose, but I don't know what else to say. There's no response. Please, we need your help. I might as well be shouting into the void. There's not even a single rustle. I notice that the birds who use the nest in the bushes seem to have abandoned this place. Tendrils of fear creep through me. What if the fairies are gone too? Madison. I turn towards Abigail, but she's not even looking at me. Madison. She just murmurs my name over and over. I steel myself and face forward for her. If you can help us, I'll find you a queen, even if it has to be me. My voice sounds stronger than I feel. There's no reaction. My heart pounds, feeling like it's going to burst out of my chest. Seconds pass. Nothing. Beside me, Abigail has fallen silent, swaying on her feet but looking as if she might collapse. All of her trust and hopes have been placed on me. I can't let her down. I won't let her down. Just as I gather breath to yell out again, I hear a faint buzzing sound, deep in the trees. Something flickers far away but getting closer. I realize it's many somethings. Tiny lights spark to life, woven throughout and across the trees like Christmas lights. Those and the growing buzzing herald the arrival of the fairies. They burst from the trees as a swarm, nearly enough to darken the sky overhead. Like before, 3 break apart from the rest and swoop towards us. I recognize them as the 3 I spoke to before. The ones I named Hai, Anan, and Fio.
You're back. To be queen? We've been waiting.
They watch inquisitively while the rest of the swarm hover overhead. It isn't what I want. I still barely know what being a queen would entail, much less a fairy queen. All I have is one short vision. But it's not like I have time to research or learn. There's not time for anything else. It's this or disappear forever and leave Abigail to whatever fate she's suffering. Of course, that's not an option I'm even willing to consider. I put on the sternest face I can and lock eyes with the fairy in the middle. Only if you can help us. Wordlessly, the 3 fairies dart forward, inspecting Abigail and me. They communicate silently with each other, leaving me to wonder what they're saying and thinking. A minute later, they return to their position in front of my face.
Name your terms. But are you sure? We think we know.
If you can make us human again and stop whatever it is that's happening to us, then I'll make sure you have a queen, whether it's me or someone else.
A queen? Who else could it be? We spent so long looking. There's not much time left. For you, or for us.
Wait, what do you mean? What are you running out of time for?
She'll make her move. Haven't you seen? The moon-sick one.
Moonsick. There's that word again. Moonsick one. You mean Evelyn?
Evelyn. A human name. It must be her.
I don't fully follow, but there's no one else they could be referring to. There's so much that I want to ask, but can't right now. How long do we have?
Until the moon's at its brightest. That's That's when she's strongest. Will you be ready then?
I'll have to be. I haven't been paying much attention to the moon, but I know that it can't be more than a week until it's full. Probably less. I really wish I had Tara's stupid shirts to use as a reference right now. Tara. In all of this, I haven't even really been considering that by becoming human again, not just a ghost, I'll be able to see her. That's at least one big upside, although I don't know where we'll even begin catching up. Still, that's something else to be figured out later. Facing the fairies, I nod. Okay.
We can start preparing. Are you ready? It won't take long.
Yeah, I just need a moment to get ready too. The fairies flit off and rejoined the rest of their kind, not bothering to respond. That's fine by me. I turned back to Abigail, who's been silent throughout the whole thing. At first, I thought maybe she'd passed out, but instead, she's watching me with anxious eyes. Madison, are you sure? Softly, she leans against me. Well, she kind of falls. Yes, I'm sure. The fairies have all gathered nearer the pond, close to one of the trees. They watch us intently, ruining the chance of any private moment. I kiss Abigail's cheek and feel her nuzzle against me for just a moment. I love you, Madison. She says it with more strength than she's been able to muster so far. I love you too. We look into each other's eyes for one last moment. Then, I turn and stride towards the fairies. I don't let myself down. I don't let my hands shake. I keep my steps measured and even. I only glance back once to where Abigail's watching me. Then Hai, Frio, and Anan descend once more. Frio loosely grips a crown of woven flowers and leaves, as out of season as the rest of this grove. I would say that it doesn't feel real, but to tell the truth, it's been a long time since anything has.
Is it time? We hope it is. Just put this on.
That's all? All I have to do is put on the crown.
That's all for you? Is that too much? We'll do the rest.
Okay. Frio hands me the crown. I let it rest on my palms. It's light, barely noticeable. The flowers are all woven together so deftly that I have to wonder if it was made by magic. It's also slightly warm, like it had just been sitting in the sun for a while. I swallow the lump in my throat. This is what's best for everyone, not just me, or for Abigail, but for the whole forest. With one swift motion, I reach up and place the crown on my head. It fits perfectly, as if it was made for me. I wonder if it was. The moment it touches my hair, the fairies start to move. They chatter out loud, but there are so many of them speaking that it's impossible to hear what they're saying. I don't even know if they're human words. Altogether, they sound like a forest of rustling leaves. I shut my eyes as I feel a tingling sensation. It starts at the top of my head and slowly works its way through me. It's not uncomfortable at all, but it also isn't anything ignorable. Something soft brushes against my face and hands. It feels like snow, but isn't cold. And when it melts away, there's no trace of wetness left behind. An invisible force feels like it's tugging me in every direction at once, but I stay rooted to the spot. A light scent of pine fills my nose. Somehow, it's nostalgic. I open my eyes, still in the middle of my metamorphosis. Warmth spreads through my body like a hot cup of coffee, and with it comes understanding of the forest and of how I'm part of it. I'm acutely aware of its existence. Tuned to its precise frequency, I imagine this must be what Abigail meant by being connected. Memories that aren't mine start to run through my head. A movie that I can't shut off. Visions of trees sprouting from the earth and growing skyward, and of clouds forming and then falling apart. Each denizen of the forest, every tree, every deer, even the forest spirit itself comes to mind at once, feeling like old friends I haven't seen in a while. None of it feels new. It's not intrusive or foreign. Rather, this knowledge feels like something that's always been there, but without my awareness. Or maybe something I'd forgotten. It's comfortable. And still the fairies dance overhead, their rustling chants even louder as they perform their ritual. I wonder if all fairy queens are inaugurated this way. And at the same time I know instinctively that they aren't. Visions of a beautiful woman whom I immediately recognized as the missing fairy queen come to mind, and with her comes a longing, a feeling of something missing. Then, as my thoughts turn, the vision and the longing are gone too. I can feel the rustle of cloth against my skin, as even my clothes acknowledge the change, taking on a life and form of their own. They lengthen and stretch and puff out, becoming a dress more elaborate and beautiful than anything I've ever worn before. Living, breathing flowers bloom from its hem right before my eyes, matching the crown on my head. I feel the magic work its way through, over and around me, enveloping tightly, and then, as the ceremony comes close to an end, I start to feel it drain out of me. It seeps down and out and back into the earth and air, returning to the force that lent me its strength and trust to take on this role. As I heave a deep breath, the enormity of the responsibility that's been placed on me feels heavy, but not unbearably so. If anything, I'm reassured by the competence and power that I can simply feel that I have. I'm not invincible. I know that much. But for the first time in ages, I feel like I'm in control. I stumble, just a little bit, as my feet touch the ground that I never knew I'd left. The instant that I do, the last of the shifting magic leaves me, although I can still feel it as a part of the forest. Without anyone saying anything, without any confirmation, I simply know. It's done. I've become the Fairy Queen.